So, as I was on Twitter this morning, I saw this interesting tweet from Jonathan Rowson, the Grandmaster, where he spoke about a 14 move stalemate with all of the pieces on the board, which was brought to his attention by Jennifer Sahadi. And it actually is a super interesting stalemate study. So, what I thought we might do is just run through it. And obviously, not all of the pieces are perfect here, pieces placement, but it's a very interesting stalemate study. So let's see how we can get this 14 move stalemate with all of the pieces on the board. Pretty insane stuff. Start off with h3 by white, followed by f5, d4. Would you believe white is still in book at this stage? e5, clear blunder, giving up the pawn, but for the sake of the stalemate study, go queen to d3 by white. f4, trying to control the spaces, but again giving up the free pawn, and the glorious queen to g3. Now, if this looks like a 200 elo game, you wouldn't be too far off, because rather than take the queen on g3, clearly the best move is e4. That's exactly what we're looking for here, which allows the queen to escape to h2. And we get bishop to e7, pawn to a4, pawn to a5, and now rook to a3. White is doing their very best to try and lose every single important piece on the board, but of course, in this study, black decides to go to bishop to h4. We get rook to g3, again trying to give up the rook, but black is not interested in the rook. Instead, they're trying to do a pawn storm, pushes pawn to e3. And we get f3, blocking blocking any advancement of the f4 pawn by black. And then we got queen to e7, which is a great move. The only great move that you'll be seeing in this whole entire study. Then you get pawn to c4, queen to b4 check, and here you give knight d2. Of course, you're offering up the sacrifice of the knight, but instead we go d6. After d6 we have c5 by white. Then we have bishop to e6. Now this is mate in 7 for black apparently. But if you go c6 by white, now we're getting close to our glorious stalemate. And bishop to b3 gives us 13 moves, so we have one move by each player to achieve a stalemate. Now, interestingly, there's a beautiful checkmate on the board, mate in 3, all forced after white plays the move d5. Can you see the mate in 3? I'll give you a moment. Well, rather gloriously, it's pawn takes rook, and no matter what white does, white only has two moves, which is pawn to f4 or queen takes on g3. If you go pawn to f4, a wonderful checkmate, or if you take with the queen, you also have mate. But of course, that's not what we're looking for. We have, if we go back, d5. Now, can you find the rather glorious stalemate in 14 moves? Can you find what black needs to do here to stalemate the game? Pause the video if you'd like to find it, but it's the wonderful move b6. And with that, white and black serve out the most amazing stalemate with all of the pieces still left on the board.